Hi guys, I just wanted to show you the lean tip in of the TPS. When you step on a throttle and it goes lean, it has something to do with simultaneous injection, and this is overlooked by many tuners, even on pro level. Well, first off, I want to show you. Let's wait on the graph. What's happening? The green line is the TPS, and the pink line is our regular injector cycle, 2.5, 2.6 milliseconds. When I step on the gas and it goes from the idle switch into open mode and it's moving towards say 100%, this is what happens. Do you see that? It goes full lean. I cannot drag in TP because it will cause some strange issues with the graphing, but you can obviously see what's happening here. We are going full lean towards this line, 0.5 milliseconds, and that is built into the E931 code. So if I were to do this experiment, I first need to set the TPS open loop minimum enrichment to neutral, which is I use this one in Swede Density, and it's in decimal, so it's 80, but let's use decimal instead. We put them all to 128. This is because if I go to max on the TPS, it still stays on 2.6. But if I were to set this on 200, let's see what happens. Yeah, you can see it's added 0.4 milliseconds just by pressing the accelerator. And this is something we don't want when we are tuning. This is also why I included the big map for the TPS. This small map with 4 cells is capped from say 10%, maybe up to 75% TPS, and it's way too crippled for use in any good application. So this is 17 cells in Swede Density, so it's much bigger. Now that we set that one to neutral, 128 is neutral, we need to open up this map. This looks like this in hex, but since I'm maybe filling values, I must use the decimal form, so I use this one. Let's see what happens when I press from this is also in 255 scale instead of 0 to 100, but it doesn't matter. Let's see if I step on the gas a few times. You can see it go lean. This is the stock threshold of 8. I will show you in a second what I mean. You see every time almost, but since I don't use the idle switch, it does not know that I want to idle, so that's why it doesn't trigger on every hump. But if I provoke it, yeah, you see it goes lean, full lean, very often. And what I mean by the 8 threshold is this one, the compare and the max. Let's close that one. This is the value it's looking for, the number of changes before it triggers the TPS enrichment, delta enrichment. Keep in mind delta enrichment. So if I lower it to 4 and 4, because I want a nice throttle response. That sounds cool, right? Wrong. Let's see what happens. If I sneeze in the car, it will trigger this lean condition. See what I mean? Before I needed to go up here in this region to trigger it. But you know, just touching the accelerator will make it go lean like that. I will show you later on how to make use of this lower value or higher value or whatever to make your throttle response become incredibly fast. But that's another topic. So let's set it to 8 for stock. Like that. Let's close this. Now what we wanted to do is use the delta enrichment. This is in decimal form. Before we do that, I want to show you a map called Simultaneous TPS Maximum. This here map is, I must stop that one or it becomes too laggy. This is the RPM scale, and these are the thresholds within that RPM scale. So if you have a too low RPM, it will not be as big as an issue as it will be in the higher RPMs. So if you set this to max, you can have great throttle response, but you have to tune another map, and that's what we're gonna do now. So we close this one and we open up our delta enrichment. This is not included in the Jokerware, for example, and also the 120. Yeah, but it's another story. Let's look at this map. If I trace this map, you ain't gonna see nothing happening. So you think, this map is broken, right? Not. It's fully functional. Let's see what happens. Wait a second. I'm gonna close that one, open up that one again, like that. You see it go full in here. It's tracking this number here. This is a special number. You won't see this one in any regular E931 ADX or logger or something like that. This is exclusive for Swede Density, or if you do it by yourself. But let's pretend you can log this on any setup. Then you would be able to log delta TPS. I think ECM Link has it, but none of the other wares. This jittery line, it's because I have some conductive issues on my regular printer paper on my desktop, so don't bother with that. Let's see. If I do like this, sooner or later it will trigger the lean condition right there. So we are something like here. So if I were to put all of this to 20, let's see what happens. Keep an eye on this one here. You see, it's becoming, comes closer to the 2.6, but we're still at 1.8 or 1.3. So if I trigger the lean condition, it's not too bad now. Let's see if you can trigger it at all. No, it looks pretty good. Here, it's hard to see with this jittery line, but there it is, like that. It still travels and traces this number. So we still need to go up. We just almost tripled the amount of time, the threshold we had before. So if we were to go to 30, like that. Let's see, as soon as I touch the accelerator now, this number will fly up like that. This black number here, there is a default maximum value of 5.38 milliseconds, and that's a lot of fuel if you step on an accelerator. And that value is also at the scalars. I will show you this sorted in the proper manner in a while, but it's here. Simultaneous cap, compare and use maximum 538, like that. And what I mean is this: if you set this to, say, a ridiculous number like 100, it accepts it, but check this out, it goes to 538. This is a lot of fuel. As you can see here, you will basically be flooding the engine if you touch the accelerator. So what we need to do is to match this 258. It can be any number. It can be 1.6 at your idle, or 1.2 at somebody else's idle, or if you're using 450cc injectors, it might be as high as 258. But for this example, we use this. So what I need to do is trim this TPS delta enrichment map till I get to where I'm at idle. So I start with a random number like 40. Sometimes I'm good at guessing. So spot on. 30. Then you see I'm too lean here. This is no good. So if I were to trim my idle response, I would set all these that I had at 8 to around 30 or 40, like that. And as you may remember, these max values were 24 and it's still going lean. Once it passed these 40 and gets to the 24, it will go lean, but it's okay since the map, the pressure has gone up and the RPMs have gone up, and we have left the idle switch, and we are now in this is my old code, but we are in a higher state here, so we're no longer in the idle area, so we get more fuel automatically. But if we were to be anal about things, we would set this higher value on across the board like this. It would never go lean and never go have lean tip-in issues again. As you remember, I have this lean TPS cell and countermeasure. This one I did because you cannot log this black one, the black line as I showed before, this one in the regular code. This is my special, but it will be in the future coming SVD update. So if I set this to 10 again, you see it go lean. This value you see here gets reported to the cell check engine light if it's too low or if it's lower than this 2.6. So if you set this one in the old SVD and update, every time you step on accelerator you will see your cell light up for 1 or 2 seconds, indicating that this one is too lean. So you go into TPS acceleration enrichment up, and you up this value until you see the cell go away. Since I don't have a second camera, you cannot see my gym stim with the cell, but I will do this until I see it go away. And remember, this value here is greatly exaggerated compared to the 8 comp and set values I showed before for the TPS triggering mechanism. So I keep on setting this one until the cell goes away. 30, still I got the cell. 40. Yeah, the cell, yeah, it still triggers at 40. And let's set it at 45. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the cell is completely gone. Since I don't have an extra camera, I cannot show you, but you can see it. It's at 2.8. So we are safe now. We will never have a lean tip-in issue again with the TPS. As you see, it even goes a bit rich since it's tracking this number 288 up here. So if you use the countermeasure as I have made in previous versions of SVD, you will automatically see this happening in real time as you update this table. I have shown it in the SVD thread a couple of times before, but it's hard to understand if you don't know the inner workings of the code. This is my way of showing you how to use that cell for combating the lean tip in. So if we were to lower this down to 25 or something stupid like that, as soon as I step on the gas now, the cell lights up, indicating the lean tip in. So what you need to do if you are using the old SVD, as most of you do still, the beta testers maybe don't, but you may use the old one. So you just open, let's close the logger like that. So you open the TPS lean tip in cell and set it to active like that, update. Then you go to the TPS delta acceleration enrichment minimum IPW. This is in hex. I don't know why I left it at hex, but you can do a simple copy paste like that and go into and write decimal like that. Click floating point. You can use integer if you want to, but I use floating point for this example. 0. This is important. This 0 is important since we don't use decimal points in the code. Yeah, and press OK. So we should have two identical maps here now. Yeah, like that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this and it made some sort of sense, and you know how to combat your lean tip in. But as the new SVD comes out, you will be able to log this value. So you, as soon as you have a lean condition, you just check this value, 16-bit simultaneous injection milliseconds. If you see this one is lower when you step on the accelerator than your IPV, then you know you get a lean tip in issue. It cannot get simpler than that. That is so simple. I'm stunned. But for now, use this one, lean tip in countermeasure, set it, and open up the map and raise this one until you see the cell go away. When it goes away, you no longer have a lean tip in issue. Okay guys, talk to you later. Bye.